Hi all! In this video, we're going to be going over Topic 11, Lesson 5, Finding the Percent of a Number. We're going to do two different ways today. The first way, it looks very similar to last lesson. Let's say we're trying to find 36% of 75. Let's change 36% into a decimal. Well, percent means over 100, so it's 36 hundredths. If you remember from last lesson, of means multiplication, and 75. Now, I don't know about you, but it's difficult for me to solve a number sentence like this. So I'm going to come over here and solve it. 75, and we're going to multiply it by 36 hundredths. 6 times 5 is 30. Regroup. 6 times 7 is 42. Add in our 3. So we have 45. Add your place keeper. Again, remember we're moving over to the tens digits. So you can put an X there, you can put a 0 there, you can put a 0 with an X there, something to hold your place. I tend to put an X because I want to make sure I didn't multiply something that ends with 0. 3 times 5 is 15. Regroup the 1. I tend to cross out that number. 3 times 7 is 21, plus our 1 is 22. Now we add. 0 plus nothing is 0. 5 plus 5 is 10. Regroup. 1 plus 4 plus 2 is 7. And 2 plus nothing is 2. Now we need to move our decimal places over. We have 2 decimal places. Move it over once, twice. So I can see that my final answer, 36% of 75, is 27. We'll do a couple more examples like that later. Let's look at another way. Before we look at this other way, I'm going to show you what a proportion you can use to help solve the problem. We're going to start with part over whole is equal to percent over 100. Again, remember your percent is an amount over 100. So if I want to try to find 36% of, let's try 575 this time. I'm going to plug this information into this equation. I know my total is 575, or my whole. I don't have a part. Let's make it X. That's going to be equal to my percent, so 36 over 100. If we do some cross multiplying, we'll be able to find our answer. Again, cross multiplying, you look across. First, we have X times 100, or 100X. And that's going to be equal to 36 times 575. Let's do the math. 575 multiplied by 36. 6 times 5 is 30. Regroup. 6 times 7 is 42 plus 3 is 45. Regroup. 6 times 5 is 30 plus 4 is 34. Moving over to our tens, so we put our placeholder. 3 times 5 is 15. Regroup. 3 times 7 is 21 plus 1 is 22. With some regrouping. 3 times 5 is 17, or 15 plus 2 is 17. Got a little ahead of myself. 0 plus nothing is 0. 5 plus 5 is 10. 0, regroup the 1. 1 plus 4 plus 2 is 7. 3 plus 7 is 10. Regroup your 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. So 100x equals 20,700. Now to solve for x, we divide both sides by 100. Easiest way to divide by 100 is to x out same amount of zeros. So I have 207 over 1 which I know is just 207. So 36% of 575 is 207. Let's look at a couple more problems real quick from your reteaching side of your worksheet. I'm going to do the first way once and then the second way once. So number 1 on reteaching says 25% of 24. Let's do the way with decimals again. 25% of 24. Change it to a decimal. 25 hundredths, multiply it by 24. Again, I'm going to work my problem out off to the side. Now you notice whether your decimal is at the top or at the bottom, we're still going to have to move it over. 4 times 5 is 20. Regroup. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 is 10. Put that placeholder in. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. Add them up. Two place values. Move it over. Once we have zeros after the decimal, we don't need them anymore. So 25% of 24 is 6. Let's look at that other way using your proportions. This will be number 2. Put number 1 right there. Number 2 from reteaching is 50% of 72. So again, proportion. I have my whole, but I need to find my part. X over 72 is equal to my percent, 50 over 100. Again, crossing your multiplication to find your answers. X times 100 would be 100x, and that's going to be equal to 72 times 50. Let's work out the math. Whenever I have a 0 in the ones place, I just bring it down, multiply my tens place out like normal. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 7 is 35, plus 1 is 36. So now we have 3,600. Again, I'm going to divide by 100, both sides, to isolate x. Cross out my zeros. 36 over 1. X equals 36, so that tells me my part, or my answer, is 36. Again, if you have any questions, make sure you leave a comment and I will reply back. See you for the next video.